I am moving to Alaska. But before I go, there's one last little project I want to do with the long finger mod. Actually, a couple things, but this is the main one. I want to make a long finger mod that's wooden, but not like a single sheet of wood, but instead plywood. And I'm going to make the plywood myself. That way it'll be quite a bit stronger, and I can pick and choose what woods I want to use, make it look pretty cool. I used to make fingerboards back in junior high. This is an example of one that I've done. So that's why I've got all this thin wood. I figured might as well put it to use. But basically the plywood, you use these really thin sheets of wood and glue them together, press them. It can be really strong. The problems I've had with making wood scales in the past is that they split and break, but the plywood shouldn't do that. I got a couple different options I want to look at. This wood I think is really cool. I'm going to put this one I think on the top or the bottom because those parts will be the most visible, but obviously the top part is going to be cut quite a bit away, so I'm not sure how much of it will actually show. It is pretty thin. And then the bottom, you'd be able to look at it when you were changing the scales, but that would be it because you're never going to look at them when they're on the knife. This burl wood is pretty neat. Kind of an ugly color, so I'm not sure if I'll use it, but I'm thinking about it. I've got this like tight grain zebra kind of wood here. That's the advantage here is that it's really dark. Again, since it would be on the inner layers, you wouldn't really see the zebra-ness very much. I've actually got some thicker striped zebra wood here. This I think is actually a zebra wood. That stuff's really cool. I want to save that for something else because, like I said, it's more about the layers here than the actual wood itself. So with the fingerboards, what I did a lot is use like a dark reddish brown wood and then a really light plain wood. But I don't have enough of these sheets left to make a full set of a full thickness I need for the scales, because they need to be about 1/8 of an inch, which is about 5 of these sheets. So I'm gonna pick around and look at those. Alright, so I've picked out the pattern that I want. Got the light on top, then a dark reddish one, and then kind of a slightly lighter grayish brown, and then another light one, another darkish reddish one. It's not really the same one, but I don't have two of the same, unfortunately. And then a kind of lightish grayish brownish one. Alright, now I've got the wood sheets pressed between two pieces of wax paper and just a hardcover book for being flat, and some weight to keep it down. And in a couple hours I'll take that out, let it air out a little bit, and then I'll mill it tomorrow. Alright, I've got my plywood sheet now. It's still a little soft, but I am really crunching on time here. I leave for Alaska in I think less than 24 hours now. So I'm gonna mill this, I'm gonna cut it out and sand it and slap it on the Benchmade 51 here, and you know, oil it or something. Hopefully it looks nice. Who knows? I might have used a little more glue than I needed, so it might be a little gummy looking, but I think this will look pretty cool. This is the bottom side of it here, and then there's, you know, all the colors that hopefully will show through. I'm in a ridiculous time crunch right now, and I don't have time to make proper work holding jigs for this shit, so I'm literally just placing a bar of aluminum across it, and it's not quite long enough to get to my bolts, so I have a X-Acto knife blade or a box cutter blade or whatever you want to call it holding down this bar of aluminum. It's also held down by like some oversized washers over there, and hopefully that all stays in place. But generally the idea there is that it keeps this top side and this pole side down. It was kind of lifting up a bit when I first put it in there, and now it's all held down. It's a fairly low profile hold, so I mean, it's not too bad for a one-time thing. Alright, so you can see now I've got these milled out. Differences in the thicknesses of the wood and just kind of generally the way my machine is a little imperfect means that parts of this, you can see the white top layer is pretty thin here, but then on another scale it's pretty thick. On this last one it's like not even even. I can see that despite my efforts, my my piece is still a little bit higher on this side because there's no tab where there should be one. So this scale is probably going to be a little thinner than I would like it to be, but it is what it is. I'm going to cut these out, sand them down, and slap them. Well, I guess I'm going to oil them, and then I'm going to slap them on my 51 and see how they work, see how they look. I think they'll be pretty cool. Alright, now I've got these scales. Here are the ones that are already oiled. Here are the ones that are just sanded. And I got a little oil in there again. So basically, this one went a little deeper. I can't even see it because the camera's not focusing. This one went a little deeper than the other one, so most of them have the white streak, but this one doesn't, so that'll be kind of interesting, especially being on the bite handle. It's made me a little extra indicator. But also, I mean, whatever. It's just kind of neat. But I think it's cool to see there's one light layer and then there's another dark layer in the middle there. But overall, I think these are turning out pretty neat. There's one of these, I think it's this one. I already cracked it a little bit, which is why I pretty much don't do wooden scales anymore. I mean, I've done wooden scales in the past, but they're just too fragile to really stand up to flipping. I don't know why my camera's focus is being so stupid. But yeah, I'll show you guys what these look like when they're fully on. And here it is at the end. I think it turned out pretty nicely. You can see fits the underlying metal liners pretty well. It's got the wood texture, looks very nice. Wish my camera was focusing a little better. I got a little dust inside of the lens, which is a problem. Gonna have to get a new back of my phone here. Focus. But yeah, that's how they turned out. Now I'm going to leave and go to Alaska, and I'll try and make some videos there. I think I want to make some more tutorial videos and flipping like foundation videos, and I'm going to be doing a lot of drawings because I've taken a lot of industrial design classes now, so I think I can make some cool renders. Anyways, I'll keep you guys updated with what's going on. Someday I'll be back to my shop down in the 48 to make more stuff, but other than that, I'm making some orange scales for the long finger rod scales that I will be able to finish up while I'm in Alaska, but there's only a few sets of those, so there's going to be a bit of a break between now and the next time I really make stuff. Peace.